Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. I am super excited for today's video. It is going to be my August update for my rolling Project 10 pan. I will warn you, I am filming this video about a week early. It will still post like normal on the 1st of the month. But I do have things the few days before August 1st, so I just wanted to be prepared. I wanted to be prepared so I could get this video up on time. So just letting you know that the progress has been more like 3.5 weeks, just like a little bit less than normal. I do have one product I will be rolling out and some decently exciting progress on other products. So if you are interested, stay tuned. First, if you have yet to subscribe to my channel and you like project painting content or just chit-chatting about makeup, I'd love if you'd consider subscribing before moving on. That was so lame. But other than that, let's jump into the video. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna go in order as always that I rolled these in. So we're gonna start with probably one of the lesser exciting updates. It's my Kosas Revealer Skin Improving Foundation. So when I rolled this in, it was close to full. Like, I'd used it some, but not a lot. Here are my line markings as we go along. I have made very, very little movement. I've used this just a couple of times this past month, but I had felt like I had been using this foundation a lot and I really wanted to cycle through some of my other foundations. I've also had quite a few days in the month of July where I wouldn't say I haven't worn foundation, but I've been wearing more of like a skin tint or oh, I thought it was right in front of me, like a tinted SPF. I have been trying to cycle through the Tower 28 SPF just because this was what I was gonna roll in the place of this, hopefully earlier in the year, but we haven't made great progress. So I've been trying to cycle through things, just haven't made great progress. When I rolled this into this project at the very beginning of the year, this weighed 121 grams. It weighed 101 grams last update and weighs 100 grams today. So we are getting there. But I have a feeling this is going to take me right up until the very end of the year. I do have a few other foundations I am trying to finish off before the end of the year as well. I would like to have at least, I would say, 3 more foundation empties, if not 4 by the end of the year. I do love to test new foundations and feel like my love for testing foundation has only grown over the years. So I feel like I go through foundation less quickly than I used to because I have so many other ones to cycle in my collection, which has been a little bit discouraging. And also, this isn't my daily reach. Like, this is not the perfect work foundation for me, especially as it has been hotter in the summer, just because it doesn't have the best wear time. So all that to say, I haven't made great progress. I think it will take me till close to the end of the year, and this is better for me when I have more of a self-tan. So I need to get working on this, but I'm not like feeling excited to reach for it right now. We are just starting off with the least exciting updates. Next up I have my Tom Ford lipstick, which I don't think I reached for at all, which is a bummer because I had a good update last update. This is how much we have left in this lipstick. I am hopeful that I will finish this by the end of the year. I think it's possible, but I can't obviously have another month like I did this month. I rolled this in at the very beginning of the year as well, and it weighed 9 grams. It did weigh 6 grams last update. It still weighs 6 grams today. I like this mostly as a blush actually, but maybe, should I add a little bit to my lips right now? I just applied gloss right before turning on the camera, so this could get quite messy, especially because I'm using my viewfinder. Let's see how that worked out for me. Okay, that was okay, but it took away some of the shimmer from the gloss. Anyway, I prefer this more as a blush, but I'm just trying to find ways to use it. I have a quite large lipstick collection, and so getting to use up a mini lipstick and take away from that large lipstick collection, like even have one lipstick empty, would be a huge win to me. So my goal is still gonna be to finish that one off, but I also think that one will take me till close to the end of the year. Next up, we have my e.l.f. bronzer, which I have repressed this since I last updated. I hope I took a picture right before repressing, but I may not have. But I know I took a picture right after repressing, so I will post the just repressed photo compared to this photo now. I was using this the other day. I feel like I've used this so much this year, I'm just kind of getting sick of it. I was using it the other day and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna finish this by the end of the year. And I was sold on having at least one powder bronzer at the end of this year. This is my best shot of it. Like, this is my best opportunity for that to happen, but I literally don't know if it's gonna happen. I don't want to use the same bronzer every single day, but I feel like we are getting to the point where I need to. Also, can we just take a moment to like appreciate how bad of a represser I am? Like, there's bronzer up on the side here. So I did my best. It still performs just fine, but I just feel like there is literally so much bronzer in this product. I had a pan on this bronzer going into this year. So if you are looking for a bronzer that's gonna give you a bang for your buck, I think when I purchased this, it was $6. It might be a little bit more now that e.l.f. has increased their prices a bit, but oh my gosh, you get so much use out of this bronzer. And it's not that I don't like it, I just feel like I'm personally getting sick of it, which is why I'm like, I'm ready for this bronzer to just be out of my collection. It's not a bronzer I'll go repurchase, but I'm trying to think if there's ever been a bronzer I've repurchased. I don't know that there has been. Although I will say I am interested in picking up the Benefit Hoola bronzer again. Like, I want to give that a go again, and I would potentially consider picking up the Physicians Formula bronzer again. But that's a good, like, I don't know. I don't think I've ever repurchased a bronzer, although I will say, how many bronzers have I really used up in my lifetime? Not a lot. Anyway, all that to say, I'm so rambly today. This weighed 41 grams when I rolled this in at the very beginning of the year in January. It weighed 39 grams last update, and now after repressing, it does weigh 36 grams today. And we're just gonna keep chugging along. I do think this, if I finish it at all, will take me right up until the end of the year. Okay, so now moving on to, I think this will be exciting progress. I have not yet compared the photos, but I'm making more progress on my Dior powder, no powder. This has also been in since the beginning of the year. At that time, it was weighing 68 grams. I've seen about a gram worth of progress each month, but this month I saw 2 grams worth of progress. So we went from 64 grams last month to 62 grams now today. And this is what the powder is looking like. I will say I do continue to reach for this just about every time that I do my makeup. However, in the month of July, I've done my makeup probably the least amount of times that I have any other month. And I think part of that is just because I am busy. I'm trying to enjoy the summer weather, and I don't want like a full face of makeup on either. Like, I'm just trying to enjoy my summer, and then we'll get right back into the swing of things in the fall. I do believe I will finish this by the end of the year. That was the goal. I was hoping to have this finished by, like, I thought for sure it would only take me like 6 months. Not the case. I do have other powders I would love to finish this year that I feel like are getting close. One of them being Hourglass powder, also the number 7 powder. Do we think I can still finish all 3 powders in this year? I made great progress on all of them. Why am I rambling so much today? What I was gonna say is, this is another one I think will take me until like the last month or 2 of the year to finish, but I do believe this one will be an empty. Okay, you guys, this next product, I'm also really excited about my progress. It's the Stila Glitter and Glow in the shade Wanderlust, and I have taken the stopper out of this one since my last update. I've been reaching for this a ton. So I will show you guys what this looks like. Hopefully you can see my line markings. And I took the stopper out, so it's looking a little bit messy in there, but I think I have about maybe 1/3 of this product left. I have been reaching for this so often, even on days that I'm not doing like a full face of makeup for work. I'll just pop a little bit onto the lids and kind of like sheer it out just so it's like a glittery lid. Also, if I'm feeling like a look looks a little bit too dull, I will just pop it on the inner part of my eyes. I did it on today's look. I wasn't planning to, but I just popped a little bit on the inner third of my eye. And I like that it just adds a little extra sparkle to a look. I really love this shade. I do have one other Stila Glitter and Glow still in my collection that I'm sure is pretty much dried out, as this one is really pretty much dried out, and I purchased this last year. I shouldn't have done it. These are just not the type of products that I typically am reaching for, but I'm like, would I purchase it again when I finish? I don't know. Like, I don't want to say no for sure. I shouldn't, but it is nice to just have like 1 or 2 products like this in my collection, but these are expensive and they dry up so quickly. This weighed 35 grams. I weighed this in February, brought this in February. It weighed 33 grams last update, and actually even after taking the stopper out, it still weighs 33 grams today. But I am making really good progress with this. I know I reached for this a ton this past month, which I'm really happy with. And do I think I can finish this by the end of the year? I'm hopeful, but I don't know for sure. We'll see. we will see. I'm just happy that that is getting used because that would not have had it not been in a project. Okay, next up, also exciting progress. I have my Dior concealer. This is the Forever Skin Correct concealer. I actually have finished off a concealer earlier this year in this project. And then I rolled in the Dior concealer, and I have now taken the stopper out of this, so I will show you guys the line markings if my camera would focus, which it never wants to. I am getting closer and closer. There's quite a bit of product coating the walls, and I have to be really careful with this now that I have taken the stopper out because it can get really messy. So I have the shade, I think 1.5N. It's definitely not the best shade for underneath my eyes. Just because, when I purchased this, I chose a darker shade thinking I'm trying to buy darker foundation shades because I self-tan almost year round, but I never self-tan my face, and I just feel like even if I'm wearing a deeper shade of foundation, sometimes having my face start out so pale and using a concealer, even if it is lighter than my foundation shade, it doesn't always work the best. So I am mixing this with a lighter concealer underneath my eyes as well. I am hopeful that maybe this could be an empty for the next update, but I think it might take 2 more months. So it might take me like all of August and all of September to finish using this up, just because there is quite a bit of product coating the walls. But we'll see. That one will be an empty before the end of the year, which will be super exciting because I will have at least 2 concealer empties by the end of the year. And then this weighed 49 grams. I rolled this in March. It weighed 44 grams last update, and now without the stopper and the use from last month, it is weighing 41 grams. Next up, another exciting update to share. We have my little Becca Rose Quartz, which I've been working on for so long. It's my favorite highlight in my collection. I had repressed this, and I repressed this again this morning. I used it today, and then I repressed it because I was like, I need to do so. Again, can we just take a moment to how great are my repressing skills? Honestly, such a mess, but I am really confident that I feel like and believe this will be an empty next update, which will be so exciting. It'll be my first official ever powder highlight empty, even though it is a mini. It took so long to finish this up, and I will be so happy. I literally reach for this every day. Like, my highlighter collection has been so neglected this year, but I do love this highlight. So this did weigh 20 grams when I rolled this one in May, and it still weighs 20 grams today. Then I have this eyeliner. I rolled in the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Pencil in the shade Space Dust in May when I finished up the Urban Decay eyeliner in the shade Tiger's Eye. This is how much of the pencil is left. I know I'm not going to finish this by the end of the year, but I just wanted to encourage myself to reach for an eyeliner that isn't like a dark brown eyeliner. I do have this in my waterline today, and I'm excited to see my progress because I do know I have sharpened this a couple of times this month. I like this eyeliner because it really can be paired with a warm look or a cool look. Like, it's really versatile in that way, and it's not a dark brown, so it kind of like lightens up the eyes or like opens the eyes up a little bit. And I've been pretty good about reaching for this 2 to 3 times per week, which is more than I can say I was reaching for it in the past. So I'm just excited to be getting progress on this. This is something I will likely carry over into my project next year and just track this until I finish this up. Even like working on a brown 24/7 Glide On pencil, I know like an everyday shade took me almost a year to finish up, so we're still chugging along on this, but there we go. That weighed 5 grams in May when I rolled it in. It weighed 4 grams last update, and it still weighs 4 grams today. And then I also rolled this product in May. This is the Westman Atelier highlighting stick in the shade Lit Up. And my goal was just to get use out of this, but see if I could finish it before the end of the year. This is how much we have left in this. And I used this a decent amount for the last update, but this past month, I think I only reached this a couple of times. This is a product that doesn't totally set down on your cheeks, so it can be quite sticky, which I don't mind. I love the glossy effect that it gives to my cheeks, but it also makes me think twice about reaching for it on a day-to-day basis, and it's something that I kind of forget about as well. It is a really expensive product, which is why I kind of wanted to put it in this project to give me that extra motivation and reminder to reach for it and really get love and use out of it because it was so expensive. I did purchase a second one of these in the shade Parla this year, so I really should get to working on this, especially because I feel like the Becca Rose Quartz highlight, I currently have Color Guard on my arm, so I'm gonna swatch this on my palm. The Becca Rose Quartz highlight would pair so beautifully over this. It's just like this wet, glossy glaze with like the slightest bit of a pink hue to it. I don't know how well that's gonna, you can't really tell. But I feel like it looks so natural on the skin, just looks like a wet, glossy glaze, and I really love it. So I should be reaching for this more. I'm gonna keep chugging along. I don't necessarily know this will be an empty by the end of the year, but let's just see how much progress we can make. In May, when I rolled this in, this weighed 59 grams. It weighed 58 grams last update, and it still weighs 58 grams today. And then the 10th and final product to update you on is the product that we'll be rolling out. I do want to focus on a single shadow in my collection at all times this year, and I have finally hit pan on my second single shadow of the year within this project. I will have to probably just insert footage because it's so reflective. I don't think you'll be able to see. This is in the shade Moonflower from Terra Moon, and is this really, really beautiful green blue shifty shade. Just looks really, really wet, and I use this a ton on the inner corner of the eyes. That's mostly how I got my use out of it and was able to hit a pan, which is so exciting. I feel like my single shadow collection can easily get neglected, and I've really tried to focus this year on making sure it's not as neglected as it has been in the past. So I'm very excited to just be able to add another pan to my single shadow collection. And I will be rolling in a new single shadow to replace this one. I'm first gonna set this safely in my Z palette, and then I will grab the palette that I am replacing it with, or grab the palette with the shade. So the shade that I've selected is one that I have already a decent dip going on, so I'm hoping I can hit pan on this relatively quickly. This is in the shade Half Moon, and it's by Terra Moon Cosmetics. It's this really, really beautiful bright blue, kind of reminds me of like a swimming pool, but it's a little bit flaky, and it's this really fun, reflective, like blue shade that I feel like could be really beautiful on the inner corner, could be really beautiful on the lower lash line, and I feel like this is something I can get away with wearing on the inner corner at work, or even the lower lash line at work, just to be able to increase the amount of times I can be reaching for it. And like I said, it already has like a decent dip going on it. I'll have to include a cutaway clip of this as well, just so you can hopefully get a better idea of the dip that's already there. Maybe I could hit pan on this already next update. It's certainly possible. It's possible. It might take me 2 months. I'm feeling like it might take me 2 months, but I feel like this one is going to go really quickly, and fingers crossed. It'd be nice if I could hit pan on like 5 single shadows this year. So if I could bust through that one and then do another like inner corner shade that might not take that long, like I would love to hit pan on 5 single shadows throughout this project this year, but I'm gonna need to get moving and grooving. So fingers crossed we can have a pan on that next update. I again think my Becca highlight will be an empty that next update, and potentially my Dior concealer. So we'll just see how it goes, but that is going to wrap it up for today's update in my rolling Project 10 pan. I would love to know what product you have recently emptied out or hit pan on. Let a girl know in the comments below. Other than that, thank you guys so much for sticking around to watch today's video and for supporting my channel as you guys always do. I love you guys so much, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye.